Hey everybody, Texas Garden Guy here, and today we're going to be mixing up a soil blend to transplant some of our Plumeria seedlings. So these are some of the Plumerias that we started from seed last year. I mean, they are already huge. I mean, you can tell how big and long they are. They are already have roots. They're coming out the bottom. I don't know if y'all can see very well, but these are ready to be transplanted. So we've got a really big wagon here, our gorilla cart. We're going to start off with some living earth potting soil. One bag of this. This is a really nice sandy mix. It's going to allow for really good drainage in the containers. I really like that. Next, we're going to add a bag of this living earth organic compost. There we go. You can see the compost right there on top. And now I'm going to add some rose soil as well. There's the rose soil. Now the last thing I'm going to add is this perlite. I've got a 20-pound bag here. I'm going to add about, I don't know how big this scoop is. I'm going to add about, 4 scoops. Maybe about 2 gallons. 2 gallons or 4 gallons. So 4 gallons of perlite. That's a small one. And perlite's going to really help with drainage, and that's something that's kind of important in container gardens and pots. So there's the perlite right on top. Now we're just going to mix it up. I like to use a big cart like this. This gorilla cart has been awesome for just, having a whole cart full of soil. So while transplanting, I can just have a big workspace. And so we'll get this soil mixed up and ready to go. Some people use like cement mixers for this. I need a cement mixer apparently. This should be enough for today. We'll see. Got quite a few Plumerias that need to be transplanted, so try to get this mixed up as best you can. I definitely think a perlite is a good addition for containers. I definitely recommend it. But this is really good soil mix. I mean, this is like an expensive soil mix you would get like in the store. You'd pay a lot of money for. And I think this would probably cost you about less than $10 to make a whole wheelbarrow of this. So it's a pretty good deal. And with the amount of plants I'm growing, I got to save money wherever I can. So what's really cool is this is from Living Earth Soils, and this is all made in Houston. Made right here in Houston. All right, that's a pretty good mix, I think. This is the final product. Looks pretty good to me. Alex, if you hand me a bag of this and told me this is like a $25 bag of soil, I'd believe you. All right, so we got our soil mix ready to go. We're going to go to the backyard and get the transplanting. Normally, this time of year, you wouldn't want to be planting or transplanting anything. But ever since this Nelson Plant Food Genesis transplant mix came out, it doesn't matter the time of year. So I don't just use this during the summer, but I use it especially in the summer if I'm doing any kind of transplant. What I'll do is I'll sprinkle a little bit in the bottom of the hole, plant the plant into the pot or the ground or whatever, sprinkle a little bit on top, water it well, and then put it in the shade. And I have not had many problems with transplanting as long as I'm using Genesis. So this is always in the cart anytime I'm doing a transplant, anytime. this one's still kind of little. It's a little rotten, but we will let it continue to grow. And you can see on the bottom, it might have some issues. You see right there, very bottom, it's kind of got like a problem. Looks like it's maybe a little sick, but we'll keep it going. We'll keep fertilizing and get it back to health, but don't need to transplant this one. All right, guys, so we got some of our Plumerias. You can see these especially. Look at the roots on this. I mean, that's pretty crazy. And like I said, these were just grown from seed last fall. And you'll notice some of the leaves are turning yellow, which is totally fine. I mean, a lot of times I'll go ahead and prune some of these lower leaves off and let it focus its energy growing up. You do want to be careful because you see this latex, this sticky white stuff on the outside, that if you get that in your eyes, you're in like a wound. It can be kind of toxic. So always be mindful of stuff like that. If you don't know what you're dealing with, always wear PPE, gloves, and safety glasses. So this is why we always save our 3-gallon pots. You see, this is a pretty decent sized one right here. We're going to go ahead and pull this out of the pot and try not to bend it too much. And it's really okay that this is growing like this, because once we plant it, you can kind of prop it up and then we'll stake it so that it'll grow more straight. But I like Plumerias a little bit of character, so I don't mind a little bit of a bend. So let's go ahead and pop this out. And I just do this. I'll hold it upside down. And then squeeze it. And there you go. Look at that. Look at all those roots. That's crazy. Check out that beautiful root system. So we're going to lay this on the soil over here. And then we're going to go ahead and fill up our pot. All right. So we got it filled about halfway. And this is where I'm going to take that Nelson Plant Food Genesis Transplant Mix. And I'm just going to go, see it? It's good stuff. I'm just going to go full Salt Bay on it. Sprinkle a little bit in there. And I'm going to stick the plant in there. Just like this. I'm not going to break it up too much. Don't want to stress it out. And so you see how it was growing like this? Whenever we transplant it, we're going to plant it like this. And so we're going to get it to grow straight up. The reason it was growing like this is it was under my greenhouse in the shade cloth trying to get out to more sun. Plants are crazy. If you ever see a plant that's reaching out, trying to reach out and branch out and go crazy, it's just competition for sunlight. So that's what these were doing. I had a bunch of them over there, and they were all fighting for the sunlight. So as we're going, we're going to pack it in. We're going to pack it in. Just keep going. This is a good mix. Okay, just like that. All right, I'm gonna grab a piece of bamboo, because if you've ever grown Plumerias, you know there's a strong wind and they're not supported and they're young. Once they get a little mature, they're a little more sturdy, but if they're young, they got a lot of new green growth. There's a strong windstorm, it could snap it in half. So I'll go ahead and stake it up. I like this stuff. I really like this stuff. It's a wire, but it's got rubber on it, and it doesn't really like dig into the plant or anything while it grows. But I get this at Ace Hardware. It's really good stuff, but it's also reusable. We always save the pieces. Take it like this. I'm not gonna bend it too much or anything like that. I'm just gonna kind of stand it up and support it, and this will eventually straighten itself out. You can see some of my other ones over here, like right there, right next to it. These were all crooked at one point, and they all straighten themselves out. You can see how straight they all are. These are actually, some of these are ready to be pruned already. So let's finish this up.
That smells amazing.
The basil smells so good. So right now, the last thing we're gonna do before we water is we're going to sprinkle a little bit of this at the top. I'm not going to use any like Plumeria fertilizer right off the bat because I'm not so much worried about this doing flowers. I know it's not going to flower yet, so I just wanted to focus on creating a really good root system and just thriving in this heat. And it's so hot right now. I'm going to take this now, and we're going to go to my old greenhouse that is on the north-south side of my yard, but I've got a 2-story house blocking the sun from me most of the time. So we're going to put this in the shade, and then we'll water them all in at the end. So we're going to head over here. These are all propagations and pomegranates. I've got figs. I've got all kinds of stuff over here. And everything gets a little bit of a break from the sun because I got this 50% shade cloth on top of the greenhouse. So I'm just going to set it back. Ooh, watch out for this thing. I'm just going to set it right here in the shade. We'll come back this evening, or we're going to water everything like we usually do. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this. We'll do updates on all the Plumerias here at the end of the year when we put them in the greenhouse. So hope you enjoyed this, and see you on the next video.